Hey, it's Chris here. Thanks for joining me on this video of the interior for the Civic build, and welcome to my mess. So this video is going to be a little bit different in the sense of I'm going to actually assemble it on video for you. I'm even going to get a little timer on the go because it's a really nice. It's very similar to, if not the same as to the black Civic I built in December. It's a very similar sort of kit. As you can see, there's not many parts to it. You've got your roll cage, which I actually pre-cemented together before any paint, just so I can get rid of any join lines. And when you're using the Tamiya cement, it kind of gives a bit of a sort of a weld effect when you push the parts together. So we've got all these parts. They've all been painted, they've all been detailed, they've got the decals on, and I guess first things first is let's look at the interior tub. So yeah, as you can see, the seats actually already been glued in. Now I've done this already purely because I didn't want to be fiddling about, messing about on camera. I think personally I can get all this put together without having to have, you know, be up close and personal to it, because at the minute the camera's like literally just here, so I can easily quite see over it and assemble all this. With messing about with all these bits, it wouldn't have been so easy, nor installing all this wiring as such. So for the wiring, I've actually used some of this Top Studio 0.6mm braided line. This was from Scale Riders again as well, thank you very much. So what I've done is, instead of trying to delete the molded in wiring as such, I've actually used it as a guideline to actually, you know, also sort of use it as a bit of a base for this wiring, to give it a bit more depth and a bit more, you know, substance as such. So now it's no perfect sort of installation. I mean, if you look closely, there's enough, you know, there's sort of gaps between the hose, but it was very difficult to sort of get it to sort of, you know, bend and form at such a tight angle in such a sort of proximity, especially like this bit down here. That should have been a bit more of a defined U shape with both sides kicking off to follow that mold line, but it wasn't going to work. But I obviously managed to get it over the ridge for these lines. The problem is, with this being more like a fabric, it's kind of turned it a little bit grey. I did use a bit of black tube in there, more of a black sort of rubber, but I didn't have much. It's just I literally had enough to do that. So the rest of it is the braided line, which is like I say, it's more of like a fabric, so it does stick well, but it's in areas it did go a bit grey. But I'm very happy with how that looks. I do feel like it's added a little bit of depth. It's not crazy, there's not loads to it, but it's a little something, just add a little bit more detail. Now, with regards to the seat belts, the detail upset did come with some fabric and photo etch. I'll just get that. And as you can see, I did attempt to start it, but I just find that using super glue for the belt, it just soaks in, slightly alters the colour, makes it a little bit darker, and it goes really stiff. And it just I don't like sort of like using that sort of, and it's the finish. I didn't quite like the finish, so I decided to go with an Edward photo etch belt set, again from Scale Riders, so many thanks for that. However, I did sort of, unfortunately, if you can see just kicking off that camera, sorry, you can see just there that bit of silver. Yeah, I kind of scraped it with the tweezers when trying to install it. But yeah, it's nice that these are, so they've got a bit of movement. Same with these. So yeah, really happy with how it looks. Paint wise, the white is just Mr. Surfacer 1500. The black is either Surfacer 1500 or it's I've got Pro Scale Paints textured black. So the textured black, I've put it on the door cards. So if you can see that texture on there. I honestly, I absolutely love the textured paint stuff. It's amazing. It really is. Excuse my glistening hands. It's a little bit warm today here in the UK. Very warm indeed. Let's get some focusing. I don't know how well you can see that. But what I did is I got a little tiny bit of square masking tape, cut it around the centerpiece, and obviously just painted that. Now I've also textured over the cowl, over the instrument display. It's a nice textured piece there. The dash went for the two-tone look with like the hard plastic style as such, and the Alcantara. So once we get this cowl on, which will sit just on there, and then just turn it around. I really like how that looks. Really like how that looks. Now the roll cage. So as I was saying earlier on about the cementing together before painting, I started with the middle bar, which is just, it was just literally that U, the upside down U part. And then I fitted the back one, and then as I joined the back A cage as such into the upper, that part there and there, literally dropped some extra thin quick cement into those. Jobs are good. And then for the front, I taped on the sides and the dash, and then popped the front on, and then again, same again, popped some cement in there, joined it together. And the painting was easy enough because you've actually got some pegs on the bottom where it was a clip stick just held it in place, and happy days. So some of the bits that I've used paints wise were, you know, for literally just like that. I just used the Citadel colours because I quite like these because they're water based. Make a mistake, scrape it off with a bit of, you know, cocktail stick. The black, I used that for like the gator around the gear stick, and then a few of those bits across there. And I say the blue, red, yellow, white, just on the dash there. So yeah, that's it really. Oh, we've also got this part here which sits on the back parcel shelf. That's pretty cool. I can go there. And one other thing I forgot about was the fire extinguisher. The reason I forgot about that is because it's in my stand, just drying. Because I did try and use the photo etch straps for it, but they wasn't big enough. They really wasn't big enough. They was out by about a couple of mil. Cut them in half, tried to fit them, but with that, one of them pinged off into the realms of nowhere through a portal, time vortex. It's gone to a different dimension. Cannot find it. Gave it up, and I just got some Molotov into a bit of, you know, blister pack with a bit of plastic, and just brushed on some Molotov around where the straps would have been, should have been. Again, it's a bit rough, and yes, the bottom is a slightly different shade because I painted that in Mr. Colour Character Red, but when trying to fit the photo etch, unfortunately I scraped some paint off, so I've just used this as a quick fix, because once it's inside, you're not going to really see that side of it. So I wasn't too worried. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. So that is all the parts for the interior. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set like a little stopwatch just on there and sit it in the background just so you can see. Because I'm going to do like a bit of a, you know, I'm going to speed the video up. Also, bonus points for bragging rights. Can any of you who play video games tell me what this game is from? I'll be honest, it's one of my favourite games. It's an incredible series of games. So yeah. But anyway, let's just get this all set up. And then what I'm going to do is what I've got. Just going to swap out so we've got my scruffy working mat as such. I don't want to get any super glue on my glass mat. This is the go-to glue I use. I normally prefer the red top from B&M UK shop, but I haven't been able to find it for a long time. But this is still good enough for what I need it to do. It's cheap enough. You get 5 packs for, I don't know, £2.50. I quite like it. So yeah, I've just literally got an upturned bottle cap, got some super glue in there, cocktail stick for easy application, and then let's start the stopwatch. There we have it. One interior tub finished. Yeah, I made a bit of a boo-boo. I just put the glue in the wrong place for the cowl. That just obviously didn't set quick enough, and it just kept popping off. But otherwise, there we have it. Simplistic, but for 1991 Japanese touring car, you know, for Group A Civic, you know, it's touring. It's a race car. It's not going to have loads of bits and bobs. So it's quite minimalistic, and I quite like it. Sometimes less is more. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Really quite happy with that. So yeah, let's get this one ended and get on to the next one, and we'll start looking at getting some of the chassis together. So I don't know how much it's going to be. Could be a bit of painting. I think it's just going to be, you know, mostly black, and obviously a few silvers or golds maybe. But obviously we've got things to look at, like the wheel hub locking nuts, obviously the window trims. So yeah, let's call it a day on this one. So thank you for watching along. So yeah, it's a little bit different with the timestamp and something. Not timestamp, but you know what I mean. The stopwatch, that's the one. Just you know, it's a nice little bit to put together. But yeah, it's just obviously got, you know, a bit of fiddly wear, that, like I said already. But yeah, I'm all fingers and thumbs, whatever the saying is. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one for the chassis work. Take care of yourselves. All the best.